Hey folks, it's a Laughing Order here, and I'm coming to you from this location. It's not immediately recognisable, it's because I'm round the back of it. I'm just walking around. I thought I'd get my intro in nice and early, but I'm back at the Israeli embassy. I want to have another look around. I want to see how they react to a man with a camera. So I'm going to make my way around there, do my nosy, and see what is what. You guys have been very vocal in terms of me doing the Israeli embassy, and I did do it before. It was pretty uneventful, but I'm here to do it again. And I didn't realise we've got some armed police here. So we do. And it's this fire station. This must be the back of it. Must be Independent 6 Form College. Is that in there? There's a fire station right next to it. I don't know, this is here. So, we're going to get round there somewhere, and we'll take it from there. We'll ignore those guys for now, we'll check that out later. I didn't know we'd get next to the school. It is half term still. So yeah, we'll take it from there. We'll see what's what. And that'll be that. So, I have injured myself, guys. I've done my wrist in playing football with some friends, and yeah, so I've got this splint thing on, which is sort of complicating matters. And it's not ideal, but it is what it is. What's going on there? It's a fire engine. Just got nothing but fencing like this, guys. I've never seen one of these before. Have you seen one of them before? It's a fire engine. It's got a fencing on it. What? Look at fencing. I thought it was just fences, isn't it? Oh, that is. Got a forklift on the back. Who knows? Anyway, all was up. So we're going to get around here, guys. In the meantime, well, I do get round there. If you do enjoy this video, please like it. Feel free to share it. And don't forget to pop down and hit that subscribe button. I would really appreciate it. We'll certainly see if we get any laughs out of the Israelis today. So here we are. Let's get up here. Have a wee nosy around. Have a wee nosy up here. There's a wee friend from last time. He's a YouTuber, he says. Now these guys do have a permanent police presence out here. So we will. Hiya.
Hello.
How you doing?
I just have to let you know that you're not allowed to. Are you recording me?
Yes.
I just have to let you know that you're not allowed to record on this street.
Why not?
It's part of the Crown Estate. It's a private road.
Is it? Right, okay. So is it a crime to film on this road?
It's not a crime, but I'll have to speak to the security there, and they can come out and explain the details of it. But you're not allowed to take photos or film in this street, I'm afraid.
But why not? Because you say it's the Crown Estate, but
yeah.
why am I not allowed to film?
Let me get the security and they can explain it to you.
Alright, yeah.
I don't know the full ins and outs of it.
Yeah. You alright, Chief? I've met you before. How you doing?
Yeah, I've been on the bikes.
Have you been on the bikes again? Yeah.
I'll just go and grab
It's a bylaw. It's a regulation that is to do with the.
That's what I was asking him. Right. Okay.
If you want to ask the guy in the box, he can explain it to you.
If it was a crime, because I know the park is covered by the bylaws, but I don't think the bylaws explicitly state filming. No, they do.
So in the park is separate, but for the Crown Estate area, which is this road essentially, they stipulate no filming, and because it's a private road in effect, which is open to the public.
Yeah.
They do sort of. I'm surprised he didn't actually speak to you when he came past, but maybe.
No, he said I've met the security man before.
Yeah.
My last visit here, and all I heard was, oh, it's a YouTuber. But yeah, because that's what I was asking your colleague, if it's a bylaw, what bylaw is that? Because I know what the bylaws are for the park, if this is a Crown Estate, this road isn't covered by SOCA, near it is, so we're allowed to sort of come and go from here.
You'd have to ask them about that.
Yeah.
We're just guests.
Because if it is a bylaw, I would need to know what that is, essentially,
Yeah,
just for future reference.
I
Because I've been here before.
I think. Have you had a look on on the notice board?
I have, yeah.
Have you had a look at
Yeah,
that?
I checked it last
Doesn't
time.
mention it, okay.
No. So there is, so
It should be up for view at,
Yeah.
At the entrances and exits, but yeah, they'll be able to advise you about that.
yeah, I'll have a look. I'll go and have a wee gander and have a look around. Because like when I came last time, I came through the park, and so that's why obviously you got the palace up there, isn't it?
Yeah.
And that's why I checked out all the bylaws for the park, and then obviously I know that this is a sort of private road.
Yeah.
And if it is part of the Crown Estate, it's not part of the sort of Serious and Organised Crime Act that covers sort of criminal trespass. So I knew that I was allowed to come in here.
Yeah.
But if there is a bylaw that I'm unaware about, then I would sort of want to know what that is, essentially.
Yeah.
Just to sort of find out.
I mean, sometimes they ask us to inform members of the public about it and request that they sort of refrain from doing so. Occasionally we're asked to ask people to leave, etc. But
Yeah.
as to the particular bylaw, you'd have to ask them about that.
What's that you're wearing on your uniform?
What this?
This patch, yeah, they're not banned.
It's a Parliamentary and Diplomatic Protection
Thin blue line badge.
Thin blue line
Oh
badge,
no, they're banned, are they not? So Mark Rowley's banned them. You're one of the good ones as well. You get a lot of praise in the times I met you, like, so when you're wearing one of
I
them.
got some kind comments.
Now, do you know what they're affiliated with? The thin blue line badge. You know they're affiliated with the far right and white supremacy and stuff like that.
That's something
Open to interpretation,
yeah,
of course.
I understand what you're saying.
Granted.
That's something completely different. It's certainly not what is the meaning that I interpret.
Yeah.
And I certainly wouldn't affiliate myself with anything of that nature.
Yeah.
But, this is for fallen colleagues in the line of duty.
I understand. Yeah.
But
But they are being banned though by Mark Rowley. You know that.
oh, something.
Yeah.
Yes, we'll do. Yeah.
Just for the record, if there is a bylaw in place so you can articulate what that bylaw is, I'll certainly leave it at the earliest opportunity. Yeah, I'm just
I'm sure he'll let you know.
Yeah, of course.
What's happened to you?
Played football last week, and yeah, I've done. Is it the scaphoid, the bone in there?
Oh wow.
Yeah, so I'm waiting to go back for a scan. It's just a bit of an inconvenience, if anything. Yeah. But it is what it is.
Okay. Right, I've got to shoot, but I'll
I'll wait to see what your colleague's saying, and then we'll take it from there. And he's on his way back. Let's see what the situation is. We're here 2 minutes. What's the crack, Chief? Are we all good? What's the crack, Chief? Are we all good?
The manager said he's going to come down, the security manager,
Yeah.
and have a chat with you.
Yeah, I was just saying to your colleague, if I just need to know if there is a bylaw, what that is, and if there is a bylaw, and I find out what that is, I'll leave it the earliest opportunity,
Okay.
you know, because I know what the parks regulations are. This isn't part of the parks, so therefore, from what I've seen,
Yeah.
I should be allowed to be here, really, doing a bit of filming, you know.
If you want to wait around, he'll come down.
Yeah, no worries, he's on his way now, yeah.
So I'm told.
Right, okay, mate, I appreciate it, thank you.
Okay, buddy.
So, security manager's on his way down. And hopefully we can find out what the bylaw is, if there is any. I don't think there is, guys. I know what the park is. This isn't part of the park, so we'll certainly see. Oh, for the sake of the Israeli embassy, they're actually being very professional here. Despite the guy on the blue line, I'm really disappointed, guys, at the blue line patch. Simply because he's done really well at previous audits. I almost didn't recognise him without his motorcycle uniform on.
say, do you want to come out with someone filming here? You don't have to. I won't say you in a minute.
This is the gentleman.
Hello, sir. How are you?
Hey mate, how you doing?
I'm very well. You?
Yeah, not too bad, thank you.
Can we have a chat?
Of course we can, yeah.
Sorry, my name's Ryan Robinson.
Don't
I'm
put your
the-
hands on me,
I'm
please,
the
my friend.
estate manager for.
Yeah, but you don't
this
need
road.
don't need to touch me, my friend.
Okay,
Yeah.
no worries. Unfortunately, you're going to have to stop filming here.
Okay, why is that?
The reason being, this is a private roadway,
I get that.
actually owned by the Crown Estate.
I get that.
Now,
Yeah.
under the Crown Estate Act of 1961,
Right. Okay.
we have to reserve the right to be able to remove people from the roadway.
The
If they break
roadway.
any rules or regulations, so you're on the roadway now, mate.
Okay, so I was over here, so you removed me. You moved me onto the roadway. So I moved back over here, so I'm no longer on the roadway.
From the railings
Yeah.
to those railings,
Yeah.
everything on that's the roadway.
Okay.
Classed as the roadway. Unfortunately, there's no photography or filming allowed on the roadway without prior permission. Granted, it's a lovely roadway,
Yeah.
but the problem is there's a lot of security and sensitive issues surrounding this
I
roadway.
get
as you can
that.
imagine.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, we can't allow you to film.
So what is the bylaw? Like, what is the
It's all
legislation?
contained in the Crown Estate Act 1961.
Right. Okay, but if you're going to try and use that to remove me from this area, I would expect you to know what that is.
Well, okay, so why don't you tell me what you think it is?
Pardon?
Why don't you tell me what you think it is?
I'm not trying to remove myself from this location,
No,
my
I'm
friend.
going to remove you. So,
You're going to remove me.
gentlemen, under the Crown Estate Act 1961, I'd like this gentleman removed from the roadway now,
Okay.
please.
Do you know what the legislation is, gentlemen, before you sort of escalate to that point? Okay.
Hey, cameras, film me.
I appreciate that. Thank you for letting me know. Yeah.
Okay.
So he's just named an act. Okay. He's not told you what the legislation is. Do you know what the legislation is in terms of removing me from this roadway? Because you,
Private property.
I understand that, of course, but that doesn't necessarily mean you have the legal powers to put your hands on me to remove me from a legal roadway. So what I'm saying is, if there is a bylaw that can be articulated, I'll happily leave this area. But as of yet, he's just named an act and not said what the legislation is
Also,
surrounding
because
it.
this is a private roadway,
It
I'm
is.
the manager for this roadway. I don't consent to being filmed on this roadway.
I don't need your consent, my
You
friend.
do for a private roadway, mate.
Okay, no, I don't.
So I'd like him removed now, please, gentlemen. because
Yes, okay. Because
I believe this constitutes a real security threat, particularly at this site.
I think
So I'd like him
you're
removed.
pushing it, stretching it a little bit.
no, that's okay. It's because we've got firearms. We don't like to put hands on, but for obvious reasons.
Yeah, I don't listen. I'm not here to cause any issue. What I'm saying is, if there is, and you can articulate what the bylaw is that this gentleman's referring to,
It's not a bylaw.
I'll
it's an
happily.
act of parliament.
So an act of parliament,
It's the Crown
right?
Estate Act of 1961.
That's why I know you don't know what you're talking about, my friend. The police will know you don't know what you're talking about. I'm very well frequented with what I do and sort of coming to places like this and filming.
You know what then? I would
Okay.
appreciate if
Yeah.
you, with your vast knowledge of the,
Yeah.
the subject, why don't you let me know what you think it is?
I'm not here to help you and do your job for
Oh,
you,
I
my
didn't
friend.
think that.
Okay.
Right.
So what I'm saying is, the police are not
One
your
final time,
subject to
I
do
want
your
you
bidding.
to leave this roadway now.
I appreciate what you're saying.
okay,
Okay.
no worries. So how quickly we got
We've asked for unarmed officers to come, and they can basically put hands on without there being the risk that we have ourselves.
Hang on, thanks very much.
And we're happy to stay around. I mean, you've said what you want to say.
Perfect.
So, gentlemen, do you mind identifying yourself, please?
Yeah, there's my cell number there.
Can you read-
2394.
And your name?
My name is PC Palmer.
Where are you based at?
Say again.
Where are you based from?
Kensington.
Kensington. And yourself, do you mind identifying yourself, please?
Yeah, it's PC2669SO.
And your name?
Nakba.
Pardon? Your name?
My name?
Yes.
PC Nakba.
PC Napa, Kensington as well?
Yes.
Awesome. Alright, we'll see what happens.
So when you're not doing this, what do you do, mate?
This is what I do.
You get paid for it?
I do get paid for it, yeah.
Do you?
Yeah, of course I do.
Genuinely?
I genuinely get paid for this, yeah.
Who pays you?
Google pay me.
Seriously now?
Yeah, 100%. I have no reason to lie to you. What?
Money.
I make a living off of it, yeah.
Alright, well, come on. Talk to me. How much is a living?
Well, how much do you
Well, I
make?
guess,
How much do you
when I
make?
stop doing this job
How much do you make?
and do that job.
How much do you make? You tell me how much you make and I'll tell you whether or not you should leave your job. How about that?
So how long have you been doing this for then?
I've been doing it over a year.
Have you?
Yeah.
And what do you do?
November 2022 I started doing this.
Just off your own back or somebody approach you?
No, just up on back, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
So how does it, so payment wise, how does it work through like YouTube hits?
So Google have a company called AdSense, yeah?
Okay, yeah.
AdSense are the company that put adverts on your videos that you put on YouTube, and then from that you make a revenue.
Alright. That's quite interesting actually.
It's very interesting.
Is it just around London you work or
I travel all over doing this, yeah.
so where are you from originally? Because that's not a London accent.
It's not, no. Where do you think I'm from?
You're from Scotland, but
I am.
I don't think you're not Glasgow, are you?
Oh, could be, you could be close to the mark, you could be, I don't know.
You reckon?
Maybe. What?
I don't know, I don't think you've got, it's not a strong.
I normally get it confused with the Irish accent. You're being nice now. Why are you being nice now? Because a minute ago you're being very hostile. You want to get people to put hands on. I'm not really interested in talking to you in a nice manner, my friend.
You leave the roadway.
Again,
And
so
I'm being very pleasant,
let
I would say.
me explain this to you. If you leave me alone,
Okay.
I'll happily leave. I'll leave off my own free will. But you
I understand
need to leave me
I
alone.
appreciate that. But as I've explained to you,
You didn't explain.
unfortunately,
You named an act of parliament. You didn't name what the bylaw was.
I don't need to name a bylaw.
Well,
This is private property.
but the police will need to know what that law is if they're going to put hands on me.
If you step into my driveway in my house,
Is this your driveway?
it doesn't matter. It's private property.
Is it your driveway? It is private property.
If you don't let me speak, we can't have a
Right,
conversation.
okay.
This is private property.
It is, yeah.
All right. So, if you step into my driveway, which is also private property,
It is, yeah.
and I ask you to leave and you don't leave,
Yep.
you're going to be forced to leave. It's the exact same principle, mate.
It's not, because this isn't your driveway, okay?
Yes, but I'm
And-
employed by the Crown Estate to manage this
and
private roadway.
see, you're good at naming Acts of Parliament. I'm going to name an Act of Parliament for you.
Go on, do it.
It's the specific section that's relevant. So the Criminal Justice Act 1972, section 33, okay?
Right,
Which gives a definition to a public place.
This
Alright?
isn't a public place.
It is, unfortunately, by definition. Of course it
Tell you what,
is.
If we walk down here now, there's
Yep.
a sign on the wall,
Yeah.
on the South Lodge,
Yep.
which states exactly what
Okay.
this is.
So do you want me to
This
tell
is in
you?
fact a private roadway that the Crown Estate allows
Yeah.
access to, but reserves the right at any
They
time
do, yeah.
to deny access.
Okay, I get that.
That, gentleman, is all there is to it.
Yeah, I understand what you're
So
saying.
this isn't you're wrong, unfortunately, because
I'm not wrong, okay?
this isn't
So let me
public
explain to
property.
you why I'm not wrong, okay? So first and foremost, if someone that wasn't able to speak English, someone that had an eyesight problem or anything whatsoever, maybe I'll read that sign. Second of all, it's on payment or otherwise that the public have access to is what defines a public place. The gates are wide open, so the sign is absolutely meaningless. If there was a gate there closed that I then had to pass by to get into the area, then that brings it in a whole different sort of different realm.
Okay, so if
But
you
that's
go
where you're
across
making.
there to Kensington Palace.
Yeah,
Right.
but that's
Now,
not the
there's
same
a
as here.
barrier.
It's not the same as here.
Well, it is exactly
It's not,
the same.
because that's the Royal
There's
Parks.
a barrier, but the gates are
yeah.
wide open.
But that's the
You
Royal.
walk straight in there.
So that's the Royal Parks, okay? The Royal Parks.
It's not a royal park, it's a palace pub.
It's the Royal Parks.
No,
okay?
no, no. Kensington Palace is not a park.
It's covered. The whole area is covered by the
definition
Royal
of a park
Parks.
is trees,
The,
grass,
the public
etc. That's a
areas.
building.
The public areas that I can get access to.
Okay, listen, we're
The,
not
the
going
public
anywhere.
areas, because you're not willing to listen and engage in
I don't need to
dialogue.
listen to
Right, I
you.
think you need to zip it, wind your neck in, maybe go back to work. How
Okay,
about
so
that?
now you're being abusive.
I'm not being abusive at all.
I don't know
What
why
did I say
you
that was
need to
abusive?
Tell me to zip it.
I did, because
When
you're
I'm just
talking
doing my
nonsense.
job.
You're not willing to listen to me.
Your
So I'm
heartbeat's
going to
racing
tell
a
you
little bit now.
zip your mouth,
You're getting a wee bit
go back to
stuttery
work
with your-
and wind your neck in.
No, come
I'm
on,
definitely
sir.
not.
Everybody's being nice and calm.
Yeah.
You're getting a bit fidgety.
I am a very fidgety.
You are,
Of
aren't
course
you?
I am. Like, I'm really
In
shaking.
fact, I think it looks like you're going to hit me, but
I'm gonna hit you.
You make a habit of that.
Do you?
So,
You're making very
What?
presumptive statements, my friend. Because then I just told the police how I injured it.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
How'd you injure it?
I injured it playing football, funnily enough.
Did you?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, of course, I've got a hospital report to prove it. Do you want to see that?
Not really. That's
There you go then. So wind your neck in and don't talk about something you don't know nothing about.
Abusive.
Yeah. I just spoke to our supervisor on radio there, and they said that if we're going to get the guy to leave, then we'll need the security to do it, and we'll just prevent the breach of peace.
Okay.
Breach of peace. You know the security don't have the legal authority to put hands on me. You know that?
Well,
are you aware of that? That would constitute an assault, and if you facilitate that, then it would mean the Met Police could be subject to civil proceedings for allowing that to happen. Alright, as well as the Crown Estate, I would take a claim against you, and I'm very successful at doing that.
I say so, because you look like you're well dressed.
I am.
So, anyway, last opportunity. Can you leave the roadway, please?
No, unfortunately, I can't do that. What I will say is, if you are going to go hands on, I'll say what I always say. I won't fight back and I won't resist. All right, okay. Just for peace of mind. Okay. But what I will say is that if you do go hands on, then you will be subject to a civil claim against the Crown Estate if that's who you work for, and the police would also be included in that. Who do you work for?
I work for the Crown Estate.
Have you got any ID?
I am.
You're a public servant. Can I see it?
I'm not a public servant. I'm a private servant.
You work for the Crown Estate?
Correct.
Right. So you're a public servant. You work for the Crown Estate is a public body by definition. Of course it is. Of course it is. You've already put your hands on me, okay, earlier, which I got on film when you first approached me. So don't come any closer to me because I will.
Else see me put my hand on you?
The police would have seen it, but it's on my film, so don't worry about it.
Okay,
got two cameras running, all right?
So what's gonna? Can I have a talk?
Oh, put a green screen up, guys. Yes, mate.
So mate, obviously I'm going to say well.
You know, I've been here before. And you know, I was here one more time filming specifically, and I was left alone. And do you know what I done?
How long ago was that, mate?
Oh, that was last year at some point. It was round about the breakout of the conflict, to be honest. But I was here before, done a whole bunch of filming.
Which conflict?
It's on YouTube, the Israel and Palestine conflict. And I was here before.
October last year.
I was left very well alone by the security, by the police, and I left.
Did they allow you to film on
They
here?
did allow me to film on here.
Did anybody approach you at that time?
They did. The police told me to move on, and I said no. And then they left me alone. And the security approached me down there. They said you can't film, but I was already outside at this point, and that was the end of it.
Film all you want outside. That's
Okay.
not an issue.
I was already filming in here for a good 10-15
When
minutes.
was that, mate?
Again, last year at some point. I don't know the exact date.
Sometime after the 7th of October when the conflict
It was, yeah.
Okay.
It was. And that's on YouTube, available to view. So if you had left me alone, I'd have been gone by now, 100%.
But do you understand why we can't?
What?
You understand why?
Like, I get that you need to come up and approach me and ask me questions. It's fine. I don't have a problem with that, alright? What I have a problem with is when you're sort of trying to get the police to go hands on. The police are not going to do that. Not for a trespass, if that's what you're talking about. And again, if there is a law in place, I'll happily leave. I'm not here to break the law.
So
right?
the Crown Estate Act of 1961.
That's an act, my friend. But what I'm saying is, what part of that act does it fall into?
The problem is, and I get your point.
If you don't know, then just tell me you don't know, and we'll Google it.
That's an act.
Yeah.
That empowers the police to remove you.
But I don't know what part of that act you're referring to.
I don't need to tell you the whole
But
act.
if you don't know, just tell me and I'll Google it. That's what I'm saying.
Google the Crown Estate Act now.
Crown Estate Act. Okay.
Yeah.
Bylaws, you said. Right. I'll happily do that because I'm not here to break the law. Is what I'm saying to you. Okay.
So,
Crown Estate Act 1984.
1961, Paul.
Crown Estate Act 1961.
Yeah.
Let's have a gander. So guys, I thought I would just interject here because this gentleman keeps going on about the Crown Estate Act 1961 and how that gives him and subsequently the police the powers to remove me at his request. I've had a read over it, a very brief read over it at that, but I have had a read over it, And from my understanding is he's talking absolute nonsense. There is no bylaws in there that I have seen that give him or the police the powers to do that. It is simply an act of Parliament that allowed Crown Estate land to be used for public use and sort of delegated that power to sort of commissioners and stuff like that. So whatever he's talking about is utter nonsense. There's a small reference to the parks regulations in 1872. But there's no bylaws, there's nothing in there that I have seen. Again, I could be mistaken, but from the reading that I've done, he's clearly talking nonsense, and that is why he simply can't refer to any particular part of that act, because there is none. So when individuals try and get me to recite back to them what the legislation is, it simply tells me everything I need to know as to what their understanding is, because if he did know what part of that legislation they were going to use, I guarantee, bet your bottom dollar he's going to come out and tell us what that is, and it's easily cleared up at that point. But unfortunately he couldn't do that. So I'll let you get back to the video. I just thought I'd share that little tidbit of information with you, and I'll see you all very soon. Take care, bye bye.
There's a section on the right to reserve admission to members of the public.
That was already admitted. Okay, let's have a look.
What do you mean admitted now?
I've already come in. You've already approached me. Right to reserve admittance.
Correct.
But I was already admitted.
But when there's signs up saying no photography, no filming, etc., when you then start to do that, that becomes an issue, and then we then invoke that right to reserve admission. So if you're on the roadway, then we have to ask you to leave.
Okay, I wasn't on the roadway. I was on the sideway. It's pavement all the
As
time.
I've explained to you, the roadway constitutes railing to railing, so everything in between.
That doesn't sound feasible, my friend.
Unfortunately, it doesn't have to sound feasible.
It's a very large act, so it is going to take some time. So that's what I was saying. If you could sort of name it, sort of what section, what?
Start at section 2.
Section 2, like section 2 is right at the start. And then there's the other caveat to that as well, is that there's more than likely, I can't confirm it just now, I would need to do a bit of research, but it's highly likely that there'll be a journalistic exemption to this, to allow journalists to come in and report on things.
Have you got journalistic accreditation?
I do, yeah.
With you?
I don't need to show you that, my friend.
Are you sure?
100% I don't. Yeah.
If you can show me now journalistic accreditation,
I don't need to show you. Okay, but you've not showed me any sort of ID to say that you work here, so why should I need to show you?
Can I just have a quick chat?
Of course you can, yeah, of course.
Okay, just to let you know I'm recording.
Yeah, I appreciate that, thank you.
Now, should we just step away from these for a minute?
If you want, yeah, I'm not too bothered if he listens in or not. I'm just going through the piece of legislation that he's referring to try and find out whether or not there is anything legitimate in what he's saying.
Okay. Well, like I said to you at the beginning, I don't know if you remember what I said, but it's we're not 100% sure about what legislation
yeah, of
is
course.
on this
Just
road.
that's what I'm trying to find
It's
out.
a bylaw and things like
Yeah.
that. But I've tried to clarify it with our supervisors, who are not security, but we're police officers.
Yeah.
And from our understanding, the security here can ask you to leave.
They can, yeah, for trespass.
Yeah.
If that's what you're referring to.
And they can physically ask you to leave, physically get you to leave as well. And up until that point, we don't do anything.
Yeah, you would then prevent a
then
breach
it
of
can
peace.
be.
Yeah.
So we're speaking to him now to say, look, it's your security's responsibility really to deal with this and to remove you, because we're actually here for something completely
Yeah, I
different.
get that. I understand that.
I know we're in the street, but we're here because
You're here to
got
guard this
terrorism
place.
threats high on
Yeah,
the
of
radio.
course, yeah.
But because this is happening, it's here and
In front of you, you're trying to deal with it.
We've got to deal with it some way.
Yeah. So as I says to the gentleman, like, if the security do want to come, listen, I know it is trespass, that's what he's referring to. Whether or not they have the authority to put their hands on me and remove me from this site is a completely different matter. Yeah. It's up for interpretation. My argument would be that they don't. You guys certainly don't have that power. But if they do and they want to sort of try and exercise that, then as I says to that gentleman there, I'm not going to fight back, I'm not going to resist, I'll happily go sort of under sort of duress, so to speak, but I'm not going to leave of my own free will when I feel that I'm perfectly legitimate sort of being here.
Okay.
But I'm trying to, at this moment in time, try to find out, because he's naming an act, he can't like even tell me what sort of section of that act that he could be referring to, and I've just went on having a quick look to try and find out, and it's quite a large bit of writing.
I'm listening to what you're saying, but I'm also looking around because Because
I see you
we're
looking
here
over my
to-
shoulder.
we're here to
Yeah,
protect Israel,
I get that.
And I need to
Yeah.
see who's around as well.
yeah, I get that.
But yes, yeah, no, look, I understand what's being said.
As I says to him as well, if he left me alone, I'd have been gone by now. I was here before, son I was. I was here last year, and you had two colleagues again, and police out here protecting the Israeli embassy. Had a quick word with them, and they left me alone, and I was able to go on my merry way. And I've said that to him as well. If he leaves me alone, I'll leave off my own free will. But it's the ball's in his court, so to speak. It's up to him what he wants to do. You know, like, I'm having a pretty healthy debate with him into the legalities, but I'm not here to break the law. If there is a bylaw, which I don't think there is, then I need to know what that is, because potentially I could inadvertently break it again, and I don't want to be doing that. I'm not here to break the law. So, well, that is what it is. And then there's also the journalistic exemption as well, that potentially we could get into, but I think we'll deal with one problem at a time and take it from there. So, where do you normally work? I've not met yourself before. I'm quite familiar with some of the diplomatic police.
Oh, right.
Yeah, I get about some of the embassies. I met your colleague that left. You've met him quite a few occasions. Yes, Chief.
Yeah. Are you going to film all the way up the road?
No, I'm here for the Israeli embassy.
Just for here?
You've done it. At this moment in time, I'm arguing with you about the legalities of it. So I'm pretty much, I've done everything I needed to do.
Discussion, mate. We're not having an argument.
It's a debate. Let's call it a debate then. All right.
Can I have a word with you?
You're going to bring me onto the roadway again, and you say the roadway is potentially.
No.
We can have a word in front of the police.
We're going here again.
We can have a word in front of the police.
Railing to railing, I will constitute roadway.
There's nothing that I wouldn't say that to you in front of the police.
Are you now finished filming?
As I said, my friend, if you leave me alone, I'll happily leave off my own free will.
Okay, can you give me a very rough time frame when you think you might be finished?
Very quickly.
10 minutes, 15 minutes?
Less than 10 minutes.
Yeah?
Less than 10 minutes. If you go away and leave me alone, I'll be gone. I guarantee you that.
Okay, now you understand I have a job to do.
I understand. Of course I do.
If I stand over there,
right, okay,
I will get involved in whatever you're documenting, whatever it is.
I prefer if you went back to work. I don't think you need to stand over there.
Well,
I keep my word.
Work, so.
I keep my word. What I say is what I do.
We'll come to an understanding here.
Okay.
Does that work? So, if I stand over there, well out of your shots, you finish whatever you need to do, and then you're welcome to. You can either walk up that way, or you can go down the way, and you can either go on your own, or if you want me to escort you, if you need anything more from me,
right, okay.
I'm happy enough. If I just stand here and make sure it's not going to be anything,
where are you going to stand?
Breach.
Wherever. Breach of
I'll
what?
stand somewhere over there, but I'll be out of your shots while you film me your whatever you're documenting.
A breach of what?
All right, of security.
There's going to be no breach of security. I can assure you. It looks very secure anyway. Like, I don't see anybody getting in there.
Trust me, it is.
Yeah.
So
what's the issue then?
Are we happy now?
Not really, no. I feel like it's still
well,
happening under duress.
I'm happy enough.
But
that
listen,
you've spoken to these guys. You understand our position.
Yeah, to a certain extent, but I think this is a bit much.
If not, you can always write the Crown Estate, email the Crown Estate, email me. I give you my card. Not a drama. But
Why is not?
Sorry.
I was just going to ask, like, because the police have said that the security can physically remove me. So why wouldn't you accept that offer?
Because I think you're a good guy. I don't think that you're gonna cause me any issues.
So why are you going to stand up there watching me then, my friend? Like, you could just go about your merry way,
I still have a duty to make sure that everything's.
You got two armed police officers out here, man.
Their job is to watch the premises.
That's what I'm here to film.
I have a wider duty to the roadway.
I can assure you the roadway is safe.
I'm going to stand over here.
I do not pose any threat to your roadway whatsoever.
Anyway, so that's what I'll do. And when you're happy, mate, I'll let you crack on now. When you're finished, like I said, if you want to come up the road with me, and I'll show you some of the sites.
I don't need you to hold my hand and take me anywhere, my friend. I'm a grown man.
Spot on. Happy. All right, mate.
Appreciate it.
Good man, thank you.
Carry on. Carry on, guys. Jesus. Anyway. These stitches. Anyway, let's go down to the estate because you can watch me from a distance and I'll do what I need to do. Jeez, I thought I was going to end, guys. Jeez, I'll carry on. My GoPro's dead. I thought I'd put a new battery in it. But they put these green screens up, guys, and as I say, don't know what to say. That like he's sitting up there with the police. Watching. I know it's not ideal. It is definitely under duress, but it is a victory in itself because they're not going hands-on. The police really hesitant to get involved, rightly so, because they know what sort of legal conundrums could be raised by getting it wrong. And obviously the thing about security going hands-on, is it legitimate? It's up for debate, you know. I personally would argue that they don't have a legitimate reason to be here, so therefore getting trespassed would wouldn't apply to me. But it's what it is. And so again, there's nothing on here. There's no signage at all. I'm going to let them know. I'm just going to go back and tell them because, again, I just want to find out. I should find out what signage he's referring to. Where's the signage? Yeah, there's nothing there. You got a big notice board that's blank.
On the right hand side.
On the right hand side, right? Okay, I was looking at that black thing on the wall down there. You can keep me right then.
The roadway. Right.
Yeah.
What do I mean by roadway? Remind
The
me.
road. Yeah, the road. Come on, man. At least you get a laugh out you. You know, like the road. If you're in a car, like the road that you're driving on the pavement, man. Come on.
It goes from.
If it's your definition, I need to check all this information out. I'm taking what you're saying with a pinch of salt, to be fair, but you could be right, you know. You don't trust me? No, not in a slit. I don't trust anyone. I'm very cynical in nature. Like.
See down to the cobbles down at the same.
I get that. That's the delineation of your property line. Yeah.
It starts at the gates, but it doesn't.
Yeah. So yeah, but yeah, of course. You tend to find that in most places. It's the
So there you go.
Ah, right. So I was looking for actual signage in relation to the bit of legislation. Bit of legislation we're talking about.
Up on the north gate there is.
Because when I was here before, there was stuff written in there, but I think that was all to do with like planning applications, and there's a map of the surrounding area.
They'll put notices in there, so for things like renovations in there,
Right, okay.
and all that goes ahead.
So what I would say is, like, listen, it does say private roadway, but so what I was talking to the police about was trespass. All right. So trespass.
Which is a civil offence.
It is a civil offence. No, but trespass, like, to enforce that, it's not as clear cut as some people think. Yeah, the argument of whether or not somebody's got the legal authority to put hands on someone to remove somebody from an area such as that is up for argument, in my opinion.
Which is why we wouldn't do it.
Right. Okay.
At the end of the day.
Yeah, I'm glad you didn't do it.
These colleagues, and I was like,
I'm glad you didn't do it because
we can get around this. Nobody. Listen. There's enough goes on in the world without
Yeah.
something like that having to escalate.
Yeah.
I think the key thing is, when you were civil with me, I was civil with you. The key thing is there's an understand piece on that roadway. There's a lot of sensitive
Yeah.
things on. And so what needs to happen is there needs to be an element of sanity running across it all. Now, what you would maybe not be so sure of, people, if somebody walks up and down that roadway, there's people on that roadway straight away will be calling up saying, right, such and such, I've got somebody filming me, and they all have this hostile reconnaissance.
Right. Okay.
Obviously I'm content.
Were you ex-military or something?
Once upon a time.
Right. Okay.
But until you understand there's sensitivities there, and you have to be aware of it.
I do get that, but like from my point of view, like, yes, there is sensitivities there, but it is the Israeli embassy, so it should expect some level of scrutiny from members of the public, you know. Like, I'm not here for the rest of the road, I was here to come, and I've done the Palestinian Mission. I was here before, done this one, and I travel, I do a various amounts of like different embassies, government locations all over the country, and for me there's But what's happening in Israel and Palestine is awful, but it shouldn't mean to say that I can't go out and conduct my business in a lawful manner.
Now, what I would say, the no photography thing's been enforced since years. It's been enforced.
I get that.
So it's not something that's specific to the current conflict.
But you understand that could, in theory, be in breach of human rights, the Human Rights Act.
Well, I think that would be something you'd have to bring up to the Crown Estate.
Yeah, I think it could be argued quite.
I'll tell you what, if you give me your contact details,
I won't do
if you
that.
ever want access to the roadway again, if you ever want me to, I'm happy to escort you up the road and have a chat about things.
Yeah, I don't need an escort. Like, as I say, it's open to the public.
For a bit of background knowledge.
Yeah, it's open to the public. I just want to come in, do a bit of filming, get out. I'm not here to sit and encroach too longer than I need to. And what I'm saying is legitimate. Like, if there is a bylaw in place, I know you're referencing the whole act, but having a look sort of briefly online, there's quite a lot of writing there. And for me to try and find out what part of the act you're referring to is going to take a lot longer than the 5 minutes that I was doing it up there. I'm not here to break the law. If there is a bylaw and you can articulate that, even the police are struggling to articulate that, they're saying that we don't know, then I'll leave straight away, because I'm not here to break the law. And that's the important thing.
Well, like I say,
but I will go away and do a bit of reading.
I'm
and find
happy
out
enough that you've been civil with us.
but in future, if you left me to it, I'd have been gone in 5 minutes.
But you understand why we have to come in a bit.
Yeah, you can. You can come and have a chat. And so if you'd ask the police the police officer that just left when I first got here, I've met him at loads of videos that I do at embassies right across London, and he'd have put you right within about 2 seconds. And he went, he's got a YouTube channel. If you leave him alone, he'll
What's
go.
the name of the YouTube channel?
I won't tell you that, my friend. You'll find it though. If you check if you Google the Israeli,
You have to tell me that.
if you Google the Israeli embassy, you'll find it.
Okay.
The Palestine one, I don't know if anyone else has been there, but I was one of the first that done that one. But yeah, I get about London. I get about. But you'll find this one, no bother.
No worries.
All right, my friend.
Listen, mate, thanks very much.
Have a nice day.
Next time you come on, I'll
Just
come down.
I met your wee colleague in there before. That was you guy. Yeah, he was alright. He just left me alone. He was alright.
Good chap. Happy?
For want of a better word, yeah, why not?
Good man.
Alright, my friend. Have a nice day. Take care. Bye. I'm back round here, guys. So I wanted to see what the crack is. Oh, one copper here. I want to find out what that is in there. Let's have a gander. Let's have a butcher's. It's the Israeli embassy, the back door. They can't kick me out of here. Yeah, they can. Alright, thank you very much, officers, for your professionalism. Appreciate it. Have a nice day. Yeah.
Take care.
Here I am, a small pat in the back, guys, because it is what it is. And am I happy about it? No, I'm not happy about it. I'm happy in the fact that it's not been escalated to physical, hands-on hands-on removal from this area, but I know they're talking nonsense, like, because I'm pretty sure if they had the power to physically remove me, they would have done it. So I'm leaving it there. I'm going to do a little bit of research into this Crown Estates Act, see what he's talking about. I've got a feeling he's talking nonsense, but if he isn't, I'll certainly give him credit for it, and I'll put it right. Set the record straight, so to speak, and yeah, I'm leaving it there. If you have enjoyed this video, guys, please like it, feel free to share it, don't forget to pop down and hit that subscribe button. You've been watching The Laughing Auditor, and this has been the Israeli Embassy. Crazy stuff. I'll see you all very soon. Take care. Bye bye.